It has been an incredible season so far. 2 trophies in the cabinet already, and football's biggest prize could still be heading back to Merseyside as well. Somehow, Europe just means more to this club. It's hard to fully explain it to those on the outside. These adventures are just something pretty special.
Something in the air this morning, something in the air that's mine to breathe.
There's a long, long way to go. It's a tough group. Liverpool have made the perfect start.
Something's got me feeling tall as the leaves fall, hair stand beneath my sleeve.
Liverpool qualify in style for the knockout stages of the Champions League with 2 to play.
Cause even in these crazy days, there are strange ways to make me feel alive.
The group that was billed as the group of death has become the group of perfection.
It's known that if all fails and the ship sails, our boat will still survive.
You want to take it in swing and flick and 45!
From when the chips on your shoulder, cause you're feeling that bit older. Back in old times, the subject is your tone is getting cold.
Liverpool have reached the Champions League semi-final.
So when those feelings come to pass, and the water fills the glass, forever flying down in first class.
European Cup final.
All the times I'm on my own, feeling laboured to the bone. Still you're never off the phone. I'd give up everything I own just to get there and lay there, live all of our days without a care. You're that something in the air. You're that something in the air.
What a journey it has been. It is a journey that has led us all the way here to Paris and the Stade de France. A journey that has left us just 1 win from European Cup number 7. It is Liverpool versus Real Madrid in the final of the Champions League. Kickoff is at 9 p.m. here in France, 8 p.m. back in the UK. Yeah, good evening, welcome to the French capital. Once again, Liverpool end the season competing in the biggest game in club football. And once again, Jason McAteer is with me to enjoy it all. Jason, good evening to you, my friend.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm nervous, I'm excited. Yeah. It is the 3rd time that we've been fortunate enough to stand here in this position ahead of a game like this. But it loses none of the novelty, does it? It's still as special every time we get to do it.
It's so unique. I was talking to someone today. I know the League Cup and the FA Cup were very, very special, but this is a step up, if not a couple. This is where the best want to play their football. This is what it's all about. European club football at its best, and it's royalty playing against each other tonight, and you couldn't want for a better final. It's poised absolutely fantastically well. It's hard to predict. You know, it's our job to try and tell everyone what we think, and it's been difficult. There's so many match winners on each side. There's so much quality and experience in both camps. 2 managers who know their way around European football matches at the highest level, and it's bubbling nicely. The atmosphere is absolutely fantastic. I know we're sort of at the Liverpool end, but it's been dominated by Liverpool fans here. They're making so much noise. The fan event this afternoon was absolutely fantastic. It went really, really well. Jamie Webster was an absolute star, and we just want to get the match underway now. Nerves are building nicely.
Well, we're nervous, we're excited, but are the players helped by the fact that they've already experienced this stadium? They trained here yesterday, and for many of them, they've been over the course before. I think there's 8 of this group likely to play in their 3rd Champions League final.
Well, the same can be said for Real Madrid. I know we're talking about our team, and you're right. I mean, I said to my wife today, I said, this is quite a show, this. It's not just the football, it's everything else around it. You know, the fan park today, where between 50 and 70,000 fans were there, I believe. You know, it takes on a life of its own, and it is like a big party atmosphere. I said it's a massive step up from the cup final that you went to, and she's in store for a real show tonight. But being able to handle that from a player's point of view is something that they need to experience experience as well. And like you've said, some of them are featuring in their third. 8 of the players are featuring in their third Champions League final, and that experience will bode well for them. There is a couple of new players who have to get accustomed to this, but the experience will hold them in good stead.
The manager and managers have both got huge experience of this competition as well, of these occasions. Does it help our group when they've got Jurgen Klopp, just to guide them through the moments in the build-up to kick off here tonight?
Again, we could say the same for Real Madrid. You know, Carlo Ancelotti is a serial winner at all the football clubs he's been at. He knows his way around Champions League final. Of course, we know that, and probably has got Jurgen's number when it comes to one-on-ones. You know, he kind of outwits him a couple of times. Obviously, he's got the Everton connection as well. Obviously, the connection in 2005. You know, so yeah, I think for the Liverpool dressing room, we've got a manager who's experienced this with Borussia Dortmund, but also from Liverpool, but also domestic cup finals which they've had today is going to serve them well. So yeah, you're right. It's great having Jurgen in the dressing room.
Not just our players, our current manager who know this competition. It's this club, a 10th European Cup final for Liverpool. It's entrenched in the club now, isn't it? This kind of tournament, this kind of match, this kind of occasion.
Well, again, I keep referring back to Madrid as well.
Well, stop doing it.
I know, but it's 13 titles for Madrid. I mean, this is royalty when it comes to this kind of final competition. It's absolutely brilliant. It's difficult, this. But yeah, I mean, as far as these two go, you know, they're steeped in history, aren't they, and legacy when it comes to European competitions. You know, then it's not out of place where we are right now, featuring in our third in 5 years. It's absolutely remarkable. It's brilliant. We've had one defeat. We've had obviously the victory in Madrid against Spurs, which was amazing, and then we've got this tonight to look forward to. So yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, with so many thousand Liverpool fans here, there's always likely to be a few McAteer supporters amongst them. We just heard them behind us. Okay, let's head inside the Stade de France now. Peter McDowell and John Aldridge are down pitch side for us tonight, taking in this wonderful arena.
Certainly are, gentlemen. Welcome pitchside. An awful lot cooler here than where you're stood at the moment in the beaming sunshine, and most of the pitch is in the shade now, which will certainly come as good news to Liverpool. And alongside me here, John Aldridge, who's been in the capital here since early on Thursday morning, soaking up the atmosphere and consuming the nerves. How are they right now about this big game tonight?
Could be better. I always get nervous before big games, you know, and there's no bigger game, you know, in club football than this one. So it's one of those, you just got to try and enjoy the moment, like everyone else, and not let it get. I'm talking as a fan. Imagine what the players feel like. But yeah, it is nervy. It goes without saying. For me, the thought of us not winning, you know, after the season, what these lads have created for us, and themselves and the manager, it's unthinkable. I just want it desperately so much for them. They win this, you know, and I've been lucky enough, we talked about it time and time again, to see the great teams of the past, in the 60s, the 70s and 80s. These have wrote their own history. They have done anyway, but you want it to go with a bang.
The margin for error is razor thin, isn't it, when you get to a final? We all know about how Liverpool have taken everything by storm this year, lost 3 games in 62 now, but when you get to a final, you can't really afford to make a mistake, or sometimes it can be over before you're actually in the game. Yeah,
when you looked at the 2 games against Chelsea, it was a bit nip and tuck, wasn't it? You know, the Manchester City game, you know, which was a little bit like a final, even though it was a semi-final. You know, early on in the games, we did really well. We went for the throat. Man City, that's what won us the game. And then Chelsea, we should have been up. We should have been 2, possibly 3 up after 20 minutes, but we didn't capitalise on it. I think that's going to happen tonight. I think they're going to, same sort of tactics, get at them. Obviously, you've got to keep your back door closed, but you've got to get at them and see what they're made of. And, you know, and if we can capitalise on it early on. But we don't do things easy, do we? We just don't. Don't let me heart go again like the Istanbuls and, you know, the ones we've had in the past. But anyway but lose. I don't care how we do it, to be honest.
You've spoken a lot about the sense of occasion over the last couple of days, and you being a player as well. Sometimes the occasion can overwhelm. That is really important, that mental fatigue doesn't climb into this when you're waiting for the game to come along. Yeah, I think the lads, it's been ideal. You know, we played last Sunday, so they've had 6 days, you know, to prepare and get themselves ready and recuperate the bodies. I think that's ideal. 6 days. Madrid, and we spoke about it the other night, didn't we? You know, they won the league earlier.
they've been resting players and you know, and trying to prepare for this game for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, since they won the league. Sometimes that, I'm hoping that won't go for them, because I've seen it happen before in the past.
Let's talk a little bit about the fans today, because we mentioned soaking up the atmosphere. The pictures from that fan park have been something else. We didn't think Madrid could be beaten. It looks as though those numbers have far swamped what we saw in 2019.
Wow, you know, Madrid was amazing. Shevchenko Park was amazing. The artists that came all from Merseyside, most of them. Unbelievable lineup. What the club and they put together was just absolutely sublime. Only Liverpool could do it. It's only Liverpool can do it, you know, especially with the musicians that we've had over the years, and the fans. They thrive on it and they love it, and it's all part of the occasion for this to happen. And now we've took it another step. With some of the groups were there. You know, there's more there than there was at Manchester City's parade on last week. You know, and look at it. It's spectacular. The colour, the noise, everything about it is just what Liverpool's all about.
Yeah, and the fans are making their way into the stadium. Every time you turn behind you, you see that number swell even more. And we will talk about what kind of team that Jurgen Klopp will pick very soon indeed. But in the meantime, back to you guys.
Thank you, gents. Yeah, so the stage is set for the Champions League final. European football royalty go head-to-head in Paris tonight. Our build-up to Liverpool versus Real Madrid continues after the break. And I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy our breaks for this match day live. We've got 6 of the best for you this evening.
Well, won by Callaghan. Plenty of players forward here, Liverpool. That's nice, that's McDermott, and it's a goal! Beautiful goal, just look at this. McDermott finding a lovely position. One off. That's a mistake, and here's Simonsen. And that's it! Disaster for Liverpool, and the pace of the Superman, and the power of the shot. And it's all tied up again at 1-1. Neil made the run, Smith into space. Here's Neil. Kennedy and Klinkhammer putting it out of harm's way for a corner on the near side. Case and Keegan in the box. Kennedy, Smith and Joey Jones outside. Oh yes! And what a delighted scorer! It's Tommy Smith! Look at it again! Oh, what an end to a career! Tommy Smith sends the Liverpool crowd into total delight. Keegan. Foul, but he's going on! And what about his yes? It deserved it because it was such a good run. He left room to bit at him, and bit too hard, and it's a penalty. Neil against Knight. And with such simplicity, the European Cup surely is won. Side foot, just inside the left-hand post from the kicker's viewpoint. And his whistle signals that the European Cup has come back to Britain and has come to Liverpool, who've won it in the same season as they've won the championship. Scenes of utter delight. The smile of the season from Emlyn Hughes, the performance of the season, the trophy of the season, and won by the English champions, Liverpool.
Rome in '77 kicked off Liverpool's love affair with the European Cup, and all these years on, the feelings are just as strong. Fans heading here this evening, hoping to see the team lift the trophy for a 7th time. Welcome back to Matchday Live. We are building up to the showpiece final game of the season. It has already been an incredible campaign for Jurgen Klopp's Reds, no matter what happens tonight. But you can bet the boss is desperate for one more big moment to end things on a high.
Mood is good, very good. I'm really excited about being here now, getting a feeling for a stadium, for the occasion, and yes, that's all good. And yeah, it looks good for both. Thiago, Fabinho trained completely normal. Thiago trained yesterday with the team, will train today, and then we go from there.
Tomorrow you have the chance to win Champions League with Liverpool for the 2nd time. Will this victory be sweeter and more special than the one in 2019 because of the team you are facing tomorrow, the most decorated team in this competition, Real Madrid?
I have no idea how it will feel if we win it. To be honest, you have to ask me that question after the game. In the moment, we are more in the mood to prepare that we can give them a real game, a proper fight. Yes, you're right. It's the most decorated club. It's a team where some players can win it the 5th time. It's a team where the manager can win it the 4th time. It all says a lot, obviously. So we cannot buy this experience now or get it overnight. The only thing I can say, we feel. We have not the same experience, but we experienced meanwhile as well. We are here the 3rd time in 5 years. That's special as well. So, no, the only thing we are thinking about is how to prepare the game, how to play the game, and these kind of things. I didn't think for a second how it would feel if, because I'm patient enough to wait for that moment and tell you then. If you are a football person, then you know what my boys did so far this season is absolutely exceptional. But of course, in the end, it's all measured by the color of the medal you get after a game. That's how it is, and we are fine with that. We are ready for that. But history will tell us what people say about us because of these kind of games. I'm more than happy and very proud of what we did so far. Pretty special. Pretty special. A lot of games, a lot of finals, a lot of tight, close decisions, like penalty shootouts, stuff like this. There might be people out there that think it's we only won in penalty shootouts. Believe me, after 120 minutes playing Chelsea and then being ready still for the penalty shootout is one of the most difficult things you can imagine. And yeah, no, from my point of view, I will feel better if we win the game, definitely, much better. And that's, in the moment, the only thing I'm concerned about. How can we make sure that that will happen?
You always call yourself the normal one, and all others do, and even your famous mug do. So in tomorrow's match against Real Madrid, do you think the normal way of Liverpool, as we saw all over the season, enough to win this match, or you need to make something abnormal or a surprise in the match, in the lineup, or the way of playing?
So if I would do now something surprising for my players, for example, then they could think I'm nervous. If I come now out and a rabbit out of the head or whatever, these kind of things. And I believe when you do the right stuff all the time, then it's the right thing to do in the final as well. But it has to be on the highest level possible. So we obviously played some really, really good stuff this season. We are not here by surprise, or we got a ticket or something like that. We deserved it as well. And so being us on the highest level would be cool if we could do that. Because then we are really, how I said, then we are really uncomfortable opponent, a real uncomfortable opponent. That's what we have to be. How I said, we can talk about what Real Madrid achieved in the past and this season, how good their players are. We probably could write a book together now about this team. But we are good as well, and that's what we want to show.
I guess, Jason, if we're looking for omens as to why Jurgen's boys might be successful here tonight, I guess we can point to the fact that the last time Real lost a European Cup final, it was against us in this city back in 1981.
And an unexpected goal scorer as well in Alan Kennedy, making a great run blindside, and then obviously fortunate when the clearance was missed to go through and smash it in with his left foot. It was amazing. But yeah, we spent a lot of time, haven't we, with Phil Thompson over the last few weeks. Obviously the build-up, you know, since we qualified for the final has been around the 81 because of the connection. Obviously facing Madrid here was absolutely remarkable. But Tomo, he's so proud of lifting that cup, the first Scouser to do it. I know Emlyn had done it in 77, but an adopted Scouser, albeit, but obviously Phil, you know, lifting it was very special, and celebrations a little bit different back then as well. He talks fondly of taking the pub. I think it was the Falcon he took the pub to, where all his mates and kids had photographs. I don't think that's going to happen quite in this day and age, but it was a remarkable you know, start for Liverpool. Obviously 77 off the back of that, you know, and that's when our love affair started, you know. And each cup final has its own sentiment for a lot of people. For me, obviously 2005 bodes well, and then being with you and the boys, you know, to witness them beat Tottenham was very, very special as well in Madrid. So we've all got our fond memories. It was great to see Alan Kennedy score, wasn't it?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, the man to score the winning goal in two finals effectively. In terms of the here and now, it's incredible. You know, when Jurgen came in, just getting into the Champions League was considered an achievement, but now in a very short space of time, he's got us continually challenging to win it season upon season. Look at the run we've had this year. It's actually been quite straightforward for a Champions League campaign by and large.
Well, they use this term, don't they, group of death, don't they? And that's what they named our group, Atletico, who we know with Simeone can be very, very difficult to sort of get around and play against. But we done that with absolutely no problem, did we? And then obviously AC Milan, who's making a big comeback in Serie A. Obviously they've won the league this season with investments as well. And you thought that could have been a tricky tie. And then Porto, if I remember rightly, was in there, which is always a difficult one, but probably the easiest game in the group. But we come through with flying colours. And then obviously the knockout stage, you know, I probably would have to say it's easier than Real Madrid's route. You look at Madrid, it's been remarkable as a Chelsea, City and Paris Saint-Germain to get over, and you know, in all games I think we wrote them off, didn't they? But they come through, you know, final minutes of the game and some of them to get through to this final. So Liverpool have had a slightly easier run. Villarreal probably posed a little bit of a, you know, an uphill battle when I guess that was
the moment where we wobbled, didn't it? We just thought maybe just maybe this is where there's going to be a stumble on the way. But we very quickly, it was, you know, incredible how Jurgen and the boys took a grip of that game in the second half.
All credit to Villarreal. They came at Liverpool, which is a dangerous thing to do. You know, we know if you're open against Liverpool, they can hurt you. But they were confident at home. The fans were behind them. They were having a little bit of luck in the game, which is what you need. Second balls were falling to them and ricochets, what have you. And I think they got the early goal as well, didn't they? Which put Liverpool on the back foot. And then they got another one, and we thought, oh, here we go. But Liverpool, you know, they get in half time, and that's why we have the best manager in the world, who gives them a calming influence around that dressing room. I'm sure there was no harsh words spoken. I'm sure it was encouragement, and they went out and played like the Liverpool that we know, and they got through in the end easily, didn't they? And it was great. But that was probably the only 45 minutes in the campaign. Obviously the Inter game, which, you know, was a dead rubber anyway. But obviously the last 45 minutes against Villarreal was probably the only 45 minutes in the campaign that kind of raised an eyebrow.
It's funny, you know, Liverpool's been built on these amazing Anfield European nights, but this year the games have been done away from home. The big results have come. You look at Milan, big results away from home. Benfica, big result away from home. Yeah. And then obviously they finished the job off in Spain against Villarreal. It's just been a strange quirk of the run this year. There hasn't been one of those amazing Barcelona moments or a Chelsea moment.
Well, exactly. I mean, traditionally, you know, you go away from home, you want to take a point, don't you? And that's, you know, that's probably what your aim is. But then, you know, we've gone another step further. But that just tells us where we are with the squad and the quality that we have and the experience we've gained over, you know, the last 5 or 6 seasons under Jurgen. You know, we've kind of navigated our way through tremendously well, and you know, this team is at its peak. You know, are we saying they can't get better? Of course they can get better, but they're very, very good at the moment. And like I said, the squad, you know, we just look at the FA Cup and the League Cup, the way we've navigated our way around Europe as well. You know, it's no surprise we put silverware in the cabinet.
They're at their peak, but there's another peak to come.
No, Andrew, well, do you think we could get better? Of course you can. You can always get better. That's what you strive to do. You know, you do strive to do it. But I would say what we have now it's going to be tough act to follow, isn't it?
Certainly is. Okay, we're heading for a break. In a few minutes' time, we'll take you back inside the stadium. Plus, we'll make a French connection when we meet the Canatis. We're back after a quick trip to Wembley in '78. We'll see you soon.
Case reacting very quickly, but it's noticeable that Mars reacted quickly with him, and here's McDermott getting in there, and that nearly came for Kennedy. It might still come for Kennedy. Oh, across the face of the goal. It looked a certain one. Do we fancy Jimmy Case, I wonder, to send a blistering shot through this bruised wall and into the back of the net? That's exactly what Liverpool could do with now. 2, 4, 5 in the wall, and there's Jimmy Case through the wall, punched away. The power of the shot, you get some indication of that, because Jensen's punch, and onside this time. Fairclough's okay, and Lakers is after him. Fairclough is up, Case is going in, off the goalkeeper, and it'll come this time for Dalglish. A chance though for Bruges to reform perhaps. Souness with the shot just over. That was a brilliant break by Liverpool, and it was the hard work of David Fairclough in the first place that did it. Oh, what a lovely ball there. Now Fairclough, oh! Hansen there, and he very nearly did. Touched away that time by Jensen. Blatantly by Lakens, but here's Dalglish. That little rippling run, and McDermott's all the way through. Is this number 1 for Liverpool? Saved by Jensen. Brilliant keeping. Still no goals. And here's Dalglish. Over his head nicely, and De Cubber was there, but so is Souness there. Will he get a shot in? Now Dalglish. Across the face of the goal. It's there, Dalglish. Just look at those Liverpool players. Brilliant scenes of joy. They've harried and hustled and had so much more of the game. And the magic side of that ball in the back of the Bruges net. And St. Oi's played it short for Sorensen. This could be trouble now. Turned back again and knocked off the line by Phil Thompson. I think Edmund Hughes said after the final last year, well, what are you going to do now? All we can do is win it again. And that's what Liverpool have done. Champions of Europe, Liverpool for the second successive year. The first British club to win the European Cup for 2 successive years. The goal by Kenny Dalglish in the second half is the one that separated the two sides. Belongs to Edmund Hughes and hordes of Liverpool fans and British football fans for what Liverpool have achieved for us tonight. Well done, Liverpool.
Is certainly putting on a show this evening, and for once the Moulin Rouge is not the hottest ticket. Hopefully it's Jurgen's Rouge who'll be getting the standing ovation come full time here at the Stade de France. Welcome back to Matchday Live. The atmosphere is certainly beginning to build outside the stadium. Let's see what it's like inside with Pete.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. John Aldridge still alongside me. That countdown to this team news being confirmed is hotly on us now, and the atmosphere is building brilliantly. And here, the more red, more flags are appearing. And although you were pointing out before at the Real Madrid end, all of the flags were actually there for them before they arrived. Yeah,
it's something that crept into football, you know, some years ago. You know, I think Abramovich was one of the first ones to introduce it at Chelsea, wasn't he? You know, to try and generate some sort of atmosphere. But look, that's the real thing. We've been doing that since in the 60s to 70s. You look at Liverpool and it's just so original. You know, that probably, look, people might think that looks good, but to us it's not. We're authentic. But let them get on with it. You know, it is what it is. I'm starting to get nervy now. I really am. You know, it's getting closer and closer. An hour and a half to go.
You might have noticed they're all giving the thumbs up. It's like a veritable who's who of Champions League winners. Michael Laudrup there walking past just a few moments ago. Talk to us now about the atmosphere in on that coach on the way in. The players will know now whether they're in the starting 11. Is that where the nerves evaporate a little bit? That second guessing is over for them.
Yeah, but you know it is. You know, you're coming through. It's excitement. You know, you enjoy it. You really enjoy it. You know, you can't let it get to you. We spoke about it the other night. Don't let the occasion get to you, you know, and because it's such a massive game. You look forward to it, and going into the game, don't waste any nervous energy if you like, or try not to some way or form. Easier said than done.
2018 will of course feature in this whole debate as well. We'll have memories of it as supporters going to Kiev, you know, how confident we were beforehand, the problem that Mo Salah had as well. This is a much more rounded team now though that Liverpool have so many more options.
Yeah, we had a really strong 11, 12, 13 players in that season, didn't we? You look at where we are now and what we've become. You know, we've got 25 players there, you know, and half the players have made the way or let us make our way to 2 finals. That's how strong we are. And you're looking at the predicted lineup today, very, very strong. The bench, options, and so important. Last time we played Madrid and the way the game mapped out, we didn't have anyone who could change the game coming off the bench, and when Mo Salah happened to him, it had an effect on everyone really. Even though we bounced back and got a goal through Sadio, you know, it was probably a little bit too much to expect without him on the pitch.
Yeah, and how big an occasion is this for him? He's spoken about revenge missions. You know, you'll be able to identify with that as a striker as well. When things don't go your well and you don't show the best version of yourself, he's desperate to do well tonight.
Yeah, it happened to me a lot of occasions. You know, when something happened against a certain team, I'd always wanted to get him in the next game at home or whatever it be, and get for want of a better word, revenge. You want to get it back on them. But it is a good motivational weapon as long as you utilise it in the right way. You know, don't let your heart rule your head type of thing. Use it. Moby, he's desperate. But just don't let it get to you and try too hard, because if you start trying too hard, things don't come off and it can affect your game.
How important is he to Liverpool, aside from what happened in 2018? You know, how important is he to Liverpool tonight to win this game?
Oh yeah, huge. Every player in his own right, you know, is huge. If they all get 8 out of 10, we win the game. We win the game because we are I think we're the better, and everyone, I think, realise we are, but it doesn't work that way in cups. But we need Mo at his best, we need Sadio at his best, and we need Diaz again in the final to be at his best. And if we can get them the ammunition, then that will go a long way to securing our 7th one.
Real Madrid just making their way in at the moment, and Jurgen Klopp saying, excuse me, in his press conference last night that he thinks they're on an equal footing now, Real Madrid and Liverpool. But he quite rightly points out you're defined by the colour of your medal at the end of occasions like this. He'll be desperate, and the players will be desperate to write their way into history tonight. Yeah,
they so deserve it. So let's just hope that they can. It's one more barrier to get over through this long and arduous season, what they've gone through. No bigger occasion, I've said it again, than this one. Just get over that barrier and they can really enjoy a proper summer.
What will the nerves be like now for players? You've been yourself, as the helicopter makes its way over, you've been yourself in that position, making your way into a cup final, all of those thoughts going on in your head as to what could go right, what could go wrong. What are those moments like driving to the stadium?
You dream, don't you? You dream first of all of winning the game and picking the cup up. Getting your medal and scoring a goal, you dream of that. You've got to make it happen yourself. You've got to make sure that, you know, you're on form, you do the right things, you know, no silly mistakes, and you know, And you see it through at the end of the day. That's the Madrid team coming on the pitch.
Yeah, Real Madrid just making their way out at the moment, and we can hand back now, I think, to Mark and to Jason.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Of course, these sides met in 2018, and one man who's joined the squad since that final in Kyiv is Ibou Konaté. The final match of his first season with Liverpool takes him back home. He grew up 30 minutes drive from this stadium. Ahead of his return, we caught up with the Konatés.
So welcome to La Roquette. This was the place where Ibou touched his first ball and met his best friends. La Roquette is a neighborhood where the park is the most important place. In this garden there is no color, no religion, and all people they come to play and to enjoy. So here in this group there is Ibou's closest friends, his first fans. Now they are here to celebrate this moment. Ouais les gars, vous êtes pour qui samedi?
Samedi c'est ici, hein. Samedi c'est Liverpool, hein. C'est pas Real ou je sais pas quoi, hein. Samedi c'est ici, hein.
Even if everybody in La Roquette has his team from heart, since he was signed in Liverpool, they say, okay, now, after Liverpool, there is nothing.
When Ibou played one game, like for Champions League, they wrote us, yes, your brother, he did crazy games, it's nice. I hope Liverpool, they will win. We want your brother to come with the Champions League Cup, and it's like this, we feel.
Souvenir, ce que je garde d'Ibou, c'est vraiment une personne qui est souriante en fait, qui aime jouer, qui aime respirer, qui respire la joie de vivre, qui est vraiment une personne formidable et un beau taquineur.
Escapadeur. Des fois Ibrahim il se levait tôt le matin, il revenait le soir. Bon, sinon quand on jouait, on gagnait tout le temps. Et voilà.
C'est le même qui est parti à l'âge de 15 ans du quartier. Aujourd'hui il en a 23, c'est toujours la même personne. Sympathique, humble, simple et généreux. Et ça, les gens à Paris ou en France, ils apprécient ce genre de personnes. Et nous, derrière, on est là pour accompagner et pour l'aider au quotidien.
Et du coup, c'est quoi ton pronostic?
Franchement, 4-0, hein.
4-0, hein.
Deux buts d'Ibou, ta tête, tu vas savoir.
C'est ça, mon gars.
Yeah, great scenes with Konaté's family and friends over across the city. Amazing. Earlier this week. Brilliant stuff. Great big friendly guy he is as well, and a big addition to this team. Just look at the scenes we're seeing around the stadium just now. Liverpool's team bus working its way through the streets. Throngs, thousands and thousands of Liverpool supporters out, decked in red, swarming around them. What will be going through the players' minds? Maybe not for some of the guys who've been there and done it, but for some of those new guys like Konaté, when they get a sense of this.
I used to love the bus journey. I mean, we used to get a police escort, certainly international games. It's probably kind of on this level, big World Cups and such. So you get the police escort, and obviously it moves the traffic out the way. But as obviously you get closer to the ground, everything slows down because of the traffic and obviously the supporters around the ground. That's when the big surge of adrenaline goes through the veins, I can tell you, Mark. When you start getting maybe half a mile from the ground and all the fans, there'll be flares going off, the red, the colour. It will be amazing for the fans to see. This is all part of the show and all part of, you know, getting to the final. It's very, very special. And, you know, I don't think phones will be allowed on buses, so they'll have to mentally obviously take it in. But then as they get to the tunnel area, then they're away from the fans then. That's when really you go into your own personal match mode. I mean, you know, we're creatures of habit and routine, so we would have eaten the same thing, slept the same way. You know, we would have done all that, you know, in what we usually do for big games and for games of football. We try and keep to our routine, but it's very, very difficult when it's of this magnitude. But once they get in and into that dressing room, you switch into a footballer mode then, and you go through your emotions, and you just want to get out on the pitch and play.
Occasions like this, special regardless of the opponent, but as we see Real Madrid step out onto the field, they are here. That adds a little bit of something, doesn't it? That adds that little extra bit of stardust. You know, you can't dance around it. They're the top dogs in this competition. They've won it more than anyone else.
Of course, if you look at your top clubs around Europe, obviously, you know, you put Bayern Munich, obviously AC Milan, certainly in this competition, the relationship it has with it. Obviously Barcelona, but what I would say is, although they've won La Liga, you know, this is, it's an aging team. I looked at the average age of the day, it's just touching 30, where ours is around 27. So there's a little bit of a rebuild, certainly in that midfield area. Benzema's getting no younger as well, but there's still that sprinkle of stardust, as you said, and stardust brings match winners, you know, in all different ways, not just in scoring goals, but creating a special moment. It might be a pass, it might be a little bit of beautiful skill on the edge of the box to get Benzema in or Vinicius in, which these players in that midfield are capable of doing. There's still that sprinkling of stardust. Like I said, they've won La Liga quite convincingly. Barcelona are in a bit of transition period. Atletico are maybe not the team, maybe more expansive this season than what we've ever seen them under Simeone. And then you get Bayern Munich, who obviously won Bundesliga and crashed out. Man City, well, they just can't do it, can they? I just don't think they have the mental capacity to get over the line in this competition, and Pep needs to address that, otherwise he'll never win it. But certainly for these two teams, for the sponsors, for the TV, and for everyone, this is royalty. This is a big game. And take nothing away from Madrid. It's not the Madrid of old, but they can certainly hurt you, as Paris Saint-Germain, Man City and Chelsea will testify.
Yeah, they certainly will do. Well, here's a box office encounter here today. The atmosphere is certainly starting to build here behind us. OK, well, Liverpool are the first English club to ever reach the final of the League Cup, FA Cup and Champions League in the same season. We'll be hearing from the man who's lifted 2 out of those 3 trophies. We'll be hoping to get his hands on the 3rd tonight. Jordan Henderson is on his way after the break.
Well done by Neil. Runs kindly. Ray Kennedy out to the left. Alan Kennedy fancies the chance and had some justification because Agustin saw that late. Alan Hansen's made a run forward. And here he is. And here's Douglas if he can turn, and he can, but he couldn't get the bar. It's in a good throw there, though. Juanito Santillana. Look how well he got up. Here's Neil. Douglas. That's nice for Souness. Hit it well, but he can't get in on the end of it. Juanito. Navaja. Cunningham at the moment is offside. But he pulls back and Camacho goes in and is allowed to go on. And he's tripping just over the crossbar. McDermott square. Ray Kennedy going forward. Souness hanging back. Here he is. Lee wants it. And hits it well, but straight into the arms of Agustin. It's Alan Kennedy. And he goes on. And he scores! Alan Kennedy, the unlikely man again. The man who scored in the League Cup final. And now has put Liverpool in front with 36 minutes of the second half gone. Alan Kennedy seemed to walk through the tackle and buried it as the goalkeeper came out. Dudley. Holding off Cortez. 3 in the middle. And the goalkeeper's lost it. Here's Lee. And Souness. Oh, what a fine save. Really did well, did Agustin. A bit of pushing, and indeed Ray Kennedy has got it. It's a bit short on the watch, in our opinion, but who will care about that, save the Spaniard. The 1 goal for the 4th year running has been enough. And the scorer, Alan Kennedy. And once again, the name of Liverpool will be written on that trophy. As Phil Thompson grasps the hand of Artemio Franchi, the president of UEFA, the European body controlling who is going to pick it up, he seems to suggest, and he passes it to Phil Thompson. And those who stand on the Copper Anfield will be the most delighted in the crowd.
Tonight, Liverpool could record their 50th victory of the campaign, the most ever in a single season. And what an evening it would be to do it on, here on the biggest date in Europe's football calendar. Welcome back to Match Day Live. Let's head back inside the Stade de France now and join Peter McDowell, who can bring us news of the Liverpool starting 11 for the Champions League final. Pete.
Is it the team that you would have expected? Is it the team that you would have hoped for? I think it probably is. Thiago and Fabinho both fit to start, as is Virgil van Dijk, and probably the front three that you would have expected as well. Let's confirm it in full for you then. Alisson Becker in goal. Konate is the man that gets the nod alongside Virgil van Dijk at centre-back. Played of the all of the Champions League games in there, of course. The youngster gets the nod again. Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of 8 in third seasons to appear in the Champions League final now in Liverpool's squad here this evening. Alisson, who started all 12 Champions League games, of course. And then that midfield. Is it Liverpool's best midfield three? Are they fit enough to get through the game? We certainly hope so. Henderson captains Liverpool. Fabinho, who played 14 minutes as a Real Madrid player earlier on in his career, and Thiago fit to start as well. And look at the front line. Salah, 34 in 58 Champions League games, 31 his total so far this season. Mane with 26 and 57 Champions League games, and one of the most promising players on the planet at the moment. And Champions League lies at his weight again on the biggest of platforms here tonight in Luis Diaz. And Liverpool can name 11 subs, use 5 of them. What you will notice in there as well is that Joe Gomez makes it after some doubts about his fitness, and Divock Origi not in the squad, of course, not fit enough. And what a Champions League story he will have to tell, hopefully inside a celebratory Liverpool party tonight. Let's get the reaction of John Aldridge, who's alongside me. All of the worries we hope are allayed. Fabinho and Thiago both fit enough to start.
Oh yes, boost, massive boost. You know, we were wondering about Thiago. I always thought Fabinho would play. I always thought Konate would get the nod because the manager will have stuck by him through loyalty in this competition. He's played every game, you know. So it's no slight whatsoever on Matip, and I think he knows that. And then, you know, Thiago, who's thinking yes or no. He trained just, he came through. Is he 110%? They've got to make sure, because we spoke about it in the programme last night, got to make sure you are prepared and ready. I'm delighted that he's starting.
You would hope, and you would assume, wouldn't you, now with all of the scientific approach there is to players' fitness, that they have done every scan they need to do, and they are as sure as they can be that both of them are fit enough to play in the majority of this game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's crazy because the way he come off last week, you know, and his body language, I thought he's out for like 6 weeks, so it's a massive boost. It really is, not just for him, but for the players around, because you know how good he is. And look at the goal that we're 1-0 down against Wolves. The way he just created that little bit of space for Mane with that ball, it's just tremendous. And he's got that vision, he's got the technique, everything what you need to balance our midfield up. You know, if you put Keita in there, yeah, Keita does the same job, but them three complement each other more than any other three in our current squad in midfield.
Do you feel for Joel Matip? It's no slight on him. Do you think that Konate's been picked over him?
Of course you do, but I think Joe realised that because he's played all the league games and he's had to be managed because of his injury problems. And the manager and the staff have managed it perfectly well because he's hardly been injured, if any, this season. But if I was in his position, I would have expected Konate to. I think he's probably, you know, he's probably thought, yeah, he's played every game, he's going to play him. But he's on the bench and he's part of the squad, big time, you know. So see how it pans out. But no, I think that it's a big call as well because one thing Matip's got on Konaté is experience, and one sort of thing that worries me from this Madrid side is Vinicius, the space behind Trent, because Trent's getting full, because there's got to be a game plan there. But it entails Fabinho or Jordan Henderson sitting in an area when Trent bombs on. So if he does break down, a ball goes over the top, we can mop it up. Konaté's he's no slow coach either, he can run.
No. OK, well, that is the Liverpool team, and the headlines from it: Thiago and Fabinho, both fit enough to start the game, and also a started centre-back for a big Konaté alongside Virgil van Dijk as well.
This will be the 11th final of your time at Liverpool, the 7th as captain, and you could become only the second captain in the club's history to lift 2 European Cups. Do you allow yourself at all to reflect on things like that, or is that for when you're done, when you're retired, you can look back with pride and things and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's not something that I think about, to be honest. It's never about me, it's about the team. And this team have been incredible for a number of years, and yeah, we want to create as much history as possible. We want to win as many trophies as possible. We've got another big opportunity on Saturday to do that. We know it'll be tough. We'll have to be at our very best if we want to do that, but I've got full confidence in the lads that we can go to Paris and perform to the levels that we are capable of and come back with a trophy.
Obviously, it's Real Madrid again, 4 years on from Kiev. A lot's changed since then. How do you think the team has developed?
I think we've developed a lot as a team in the 4 years since we last played Madrid in the final. There's still quite a few players that are here, but I feel as though we've progressed as a team, we've grew as a team. We've had some difficult moments that we've come back from, and we've had some really special moments together that we've spent and been successful in. So I think, yeah, it's a different team to what played the Madrid in the final in 2018. That doesn't make it any easier, to be honest. That'll still be really tough, really difficult, but hopefully we can perform to the levels I know we're capable of, and if we do that, then we'll have a good chance of winning.
Do you expect this final to be different to that one, and if so, how?
Well, I'm hoping it's different, for starters, because we're lost, but the Champions League final is always going to be difficult. You know, it's 2 really big teams going through it. We'll give absolutely everything to be able to win it, and anything can happen, really. So, like I said, we've got to just focus on ourselves and what we can do, and try and give the best performance that we've given all season. And if we do that, then we have a chance of winning, and that's all the focus is on now.
What a career Jordan Henderson has had so far with Liverpool. It's an amazing story, and his determination, work, desire has taken him to this point where he now has the possibility of lifting the European Cup for a second time as Liverpool captain. The great Emlyn Hughes, of course, did that right at the start of this journey. I mean, we talk about the success of him as a captain. I think the whole story needs to be put into perspective. I think, first of all, we need to remember that his career could have been cut short here by Brendan Rodgers, and obviously a swap deal, but he wanted to stay, he wanted to fight for his place. He was then given the captaincy to follow then arguably one of Liverpool's greatest captains of all time, Steven Gerrard. And they're big shoes to fill, big boots to fill. I think the only way you fill them is by success. That's how you'll be judged, and he couldn't have done it better. I mean, as you just said, he gets the chance tonight to win the trophy for the second time on the run. The second time, just like Emlyn Hughes. So, awkward. So yeah, it's been a remarkable Liverpool career for Jordan Henderson, and absolutely fantastic. And he's a lovely fella off the pitch as well. You know, and he's one of them leaders in the dressing room. He's the kind of personality you want in that dressing room, that's going to bark out orders on the pitch, but also point the finger in the dressing room, which is something Jurgen can't do. The boys pitch side were talking about the big decisions that the manager has made, the ones there was debate about in certain positions. I guess one man there was no debate about was Mo Salah. He has openly spoken about the fact that he's out for revenge today. Yeah. Based upon what happened in 2018. Obviously that was heartbreaking for him given the season he had had. What do you make of that as a mindset to be in as a player? Or does it depend on the individual? I think it's a sideshow to what goes on. I think it's all
sort of part of the pantomime of this game. What happened in 2018, Ramos bringing him down, doing his shoulder, having to go off, missing the game. And we look at that as being, it was a big moment for Liverpool, but were we really going to go on and win it? I'm not so sure. We will never know that question. Mo's kind of alluded to it. I personally think Madrid was stronger on the night and the better team and deserved to win the game. Our bench was weak that night, and obviously 2 big mistakes from Karius has cost us. But when Mo used the word revenge, it's quite a strong word. Can you use it as a motivational tool? I think you can, but I think you also need to harness it in the right manner. I think you can want something too much. Listen, Mo's been around a long time now. His stats have been phenomenal since he came to the football club. He's not quite topped that first season, but everything else has been remarkable. He's breaking awards. He can be frustrating in games. I think he's become more of a team player this season. I think he helps out a lot more defensively. Maybe sees an eye of a pass a little bit more than what he used to do. But listen, he's put himself up for the Golden Boot Award again, which he shared. He's someone who can produce something at a moment of magic out of nothing. So, yeah, he's a big player for the big occasion.
The man who's probably made the biggest impact in the shortest space of time is probably Luis Diaz. He's gone from being nowhere near things, and now he's an absolute stick-on to start a Champions League final. He's added a little bit of X factor, hasn't he?
Listen, we talked about recruitment the other day, don't they? They do it so well at this football club. There's no stone unturned when it comes to looking at what they bring. It's their lifestyle outside the game. The family, how they live. How they are as people, how they are as men. Not just what they can do on the football pitch. You don't want a bad apple in the camp when it's so good. So all that's done. But listen, we don't really see a lot. I mean, the language barrier's obviously been difficult for him, and that will get better. So that's probably why we don't see him as much behind the cameras and on our screens. But that will come. But listen, we judge him on what he's doing as a footballer, and he's a player in confidence. He's in the moment at the minute. I mean, some of the bits of skill that we're witnessing, where he's taking it from little touches from the leg behind and all this kind of stuff. He's been an absolute nightmare for Chelsea, in the 2 finals. He's a get out, he's direct, he likes to come in off the line. He's one of them new modern day players where he's a right footer playing on the left, so they can come in, they can also go down the line. He's a handful, and he's hit the ground running here.
He certainly has. Okay, so that's the Liverpool team. Next up, we'll be taking a closer look at their opponents. And should Real win this game, then Carlo Ancelotti will become the first coach to ever win the European Cup 4 times. We'll get the team he's picked to face the Reds after the break.
Good evening to you from the Olympic Stadium in Rome. A mild summer evening after a day of brilliant warm sunshine in this beautiful city. Souness. Lee picked him out well, did Souness. Johnston trying to come back onside and succeeds in doing so. Now, what about the cross? Whelan's up on the far side, and Rush almost got in there, but it might come for Phil Neal. And it's given. Liverpool are in the lead. And the man who scored a penalty here, the last time he played in a European Cup final in Rome 1977, has given Liverpool a tremendous break with 14 minutes gone. Certainly the Liverpool challenging is swift tonight. And here's the swiftest man of the lot, possibly Ian Rush. And a good save. On target again, Rush. And now on for Conti. Now he's one they really have to watch. But that comes off the defender. Crossed in once more. Flicked on again! And Roma have equalised. Pruzzo is the man who's done it. So Lee might try and take a fairly quick one, and he has. And it's come to Kenny Dalglish. Now, can Kenny find a shot? Oh, it was only just saved by Tancredi. Extra time is over. And now we go through that heart-rending business again. And Steve Nicol is going to take the first one for Liverpool. Oh, bad news. Now, But that time to the right. Liverpool know he must do it, and he has. And they've got a Conti miss. Head in hands. And now we're at 1-1. Graham Souness, ball on the spot. And Souness has done it too. Can Grobbelaar save it? No. So that brings it back level. And he's slid it beautifully and comfortably into the net. Grobbelaar, antics on the line. Missed it! Missed it! So Liverpool 3-2 up. Liverpool are European champions! What joy! Alan Kennedy's penalty goal leaves Rome distraught. A brilliant moment. And again we say, when finally he can raise that magnificent cup aloft, it's well done, Liverpool.
It is less than 1 hour until this season's Champions League comes to a climax here in Paris. Will Allée Le Rouge be echoing through the streets of the city, or will the City of Light be shining white this evening? Okay, this is the starting lineup for Liverpool tonight. The good news is that Fabinho is fit to play, as is Thiago. Both are in from the off. It's Alisson Becker in goal, the back four of Andy Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Ibou Konate in from the start, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. In midfield is Fabinho, Thiago, and the skipper Jordan Henderson. Luis Diaz, Sadio Mane, and Mo Salah will be the front three. Yeah, welcome back to Matchday Live. That's how Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool will line up then. What of Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid side? Let's head back pitch side once again, as Peter McDowell has the details of the Madrid starting lineup. Pete.
Well, they are wily old foxes of European football, aren't they? Headed for 14, they hope, at the end of this one tonight. 52 European campaigns they are at the tail end of now. This is the team that they've picked to face up against Liverpool tonight. Perhaps the only real surprise comes at the heart of their defence. Was it going to be Nacho? Was it going to be Alaba? Alaba's the man to get the nod at the heart of their defence. And there was lots of talk as well about Camavinga. Would he be the guy that would perhaps break up that tried and trusted three in Real Madrid's midfield? He is on the bench though, so Kroos, Modric and Casemiro get the nod in that midfield three, and Benzema at the tail of it. 44 goals in all competitions this season, and certainly you would think him and also Vinicius Jr. are the main dangers to Liverpool here tonight. We are pitch side. There's a nice breeze blowing across things at the moment that's slightly different to the view that you see there at the moment. That will come as good news to the Liverpool players here tonight. But what of that Real Madrid team, John?
Well, they've got better as the season's gone on, hasn't it? You look around it. Look, there's quality, no doubt. You know, talk about the midfield. We've talked a lot about Benzema, you know, Vinicius, you know, Valverde's not bad. But you've got to, with them two, you've got to stifle the service, obviously, and that comes from Kroos, Casemiro, and in particular Modric. He's the one, he's there, Thiago, that sees that little pass. Great ability. I remember seeing him at top. The best performance I've seen at Anfield from an opposition player a few years back before he went was him. He was ridiculously good. I know he's coming to his latter ages of his career, but tell you what, you still got to make sure you don't give them any room. Casemiro was the one that, he's a bit of a spoiler, he puts his foot in a bit. He's the one who will try to, you know, ruffle us up a little bit. You just got to give him complete respect right throughout the team for what they've done.
In terms of what they've come up against so far, we know who they've beaten already: Chelsea, PSG, Man City, the way they came back, you know, 2 goals that they still needed to get on 90 minutes. Do you read much into that in terms of this contest tonight?
No. For them to beat them teams where they did, they've got something about. One thing they have got, this never say die attitude, which we've luckily we've got, you know. And when they look the down and out, they've clawed themselves at Manchester City. I'm watching the game and going, they're out of it. They kept on coming back and getting back. City's fault for being too open and letting them do it, but you just can't allow to be open against this side, because going forward, they're very, very good. At the back, with what we've got, we can cause them problems.
How do you look at their recent schedule then? They've probably only had one meaningful game in the last 4 weeks, whereas Liverpool went to the well again last weekend. How do you see that in terms of the rhythm that Liverpool might have in opposition to that?
I'm only going from my previous experience. Liverpool will be in better preparation, because you can lose your focus, and we talked about it before when we played Wimbledon in the cup final. You know, we should have, anyway, we didn't win the double, but we canted the league. So the last few weeks we were out the zone. We played games, and psychologically, you know, mentally, you weren't quite at it because you knew the league was over. We needed to win with the one good start. We weren't great, so when we went into the cup final, we didn't really play well. We weren't in the zone. We're in the zone at the moment. The way we finished off the season, we're in the zone. Perhaps, maybe they aren't, and that's what I'm hoping. And that will have a serious effect on the match, or it could have a serious effect on the match.
Just before we hand to David Alaba, who's going to say a few words about how important this game is for them tonight. You were a wily old fox yourself as a striker, and Benzema, for most people's money, is the best in the world in that job at the moment. How do Liverpool go about stopping him?
Well, again, the service first and foremost. Cross the ball, on crosses he's very, very good. His heading ability is exceptional. He's not too bad on the floor neither. You've just got to try and stop the supply, and when he's there, obviously we've got Virgil van Dijk, one of the best defenders on the planet, if not the best centre half, and Kanate knows him. He knows him through the French squad, which may help. I don't know, but you just have to be on your guard all the time. I'm not going to let him have a sniff. He probably will have a sniff. He probably will create one or two. Let's hope he scraps it or the goalie saves it, and then his chances are out the way, and it's up to someone else to make them tick. That's how the game pans out.
Well, they have the T-shirts ready, won't they, Real Madrid? They are going for number 14, and that is, according to David Alaba, the only thing they're thinking of ahead of this game tonight.
One less game, and we will give everything to bring it home. We are a really strong team with really great individuals on the highest level, and what they showed also in this season is really special. When we take like Karim, what he have done in this season for us is really great, and yeah, we are very happy to have those kind of players in our squad, and I'm really happy to be here and try to help the team with the best I have, and yeah, happy to be with those players. The last 3 games we had here in the Champions League in Bernabeu is something special, and a really great atmosphere, very emotional, and yeah, we are very glad that we reached the finals.
What a scene in front of us here in Paris tonight. The Stade de France looking resplendent in the sunshine and set to play host to the biggest game in club football. The boys just been talking through the team that Real have gone with tonight. Arguably the biggest thing that goes in their favour is the man in the dugout. They hinted at it there. Such experience, such know-how, and a pretty decent track record against ourselves. Carlo Ancelotti is from the very top drawer of management.
But you can't buy experience, you've got to earn it, and you know he's certainly done that, but his team has as well. Talk about the transformation about this team. There was a lot of unhappy egos, you know, at this club for a long while, and he's gone in there, and I believe his man management skills are excellent. He knows how to deal with players, the personal egos, as it were. He knows how to get the best out of them. Look, Benzema, 44 goals. He's, what is he, 35, nearly 36. So yeah, it's phenomenal what he's done, but also he trusts his team, and I think that says a lot when he keeps a consistent team. The trust he has in that midfield. All right, he's tinkered around with the centre halves, but predominantly the same team play, Casemiro with Kroos and Modric. You know, and we know how devastating they can be. But he's a serial winner, isn't he? Wherever he's been, obviously he's won one, lost one against Liverpool. 2005 would have hurt him a lot, but we use this word revenge. He got his own back a couple of years later. So yeah, and when he comes up against Jurgen Klopp, he seems to have his number as well, doesn't he? His numbers against Jurgen are very, very good. So he seems to be tactically astute. What do I think they'll do? I think they'll sit back tonight. I think they'll try and soak up the pressure. I think they'll sit deep. They'll be frightened of Liverpool's pacing behind. But as we've seen against Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, and certainly Manchester City, they can hurt you when the game opens up. They've got the quality then to find, you know, little balls in behind where they've got pace on the wings.
You mentioned the way he sort of dealt with the characters in the squad. He's been very, very good at that. You've seen things like he's managed to help keep players on board. Guys like Marcelo, who's the club captain, but doesn't play now. He eases him out of the picture, but keeps him happy, keeps him involved. And then the big games, you saw it in the games in this running when they needed to try and turn a game round. He went and spoke to the senior guys like Modric on the field at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
What do you think we should do? What do you think? Who do you think should come on here? That takes not many managers would do that. Would be comfortable in themselves enough to do that.
Well, he shares the knowledge, doesn't he? He wants it, and you know he's only got one pair of eyes, hasn't he? And he can only see certain things. You know, he's looking at his coaches for help. Obviously, he's got some good coaches with him as well. His backroom team, but you know, being out there is different. You know, a feel for the game. Sometimes you feel you've just got to ride that pressure, which sometimes you've just got to sit deep and soak it up. You know, we'd be talking to Modric, we'd be talking to Kroos. This is when we talk about the experience on the pitch of these players, what they do. It's not just with the ball, it's without it as well. And he's not afraid to go to them players. You've seen footage of him with Marcelo, you know, on the touchline, asking him his advice. You know, and he doesn't play, but he keeps him happy, and that's a wealth of knowledge that he picks from. So, yeah, I'd like to have played for him.
Yeah. Would he have had you? Maybe.
Would I got in?
I just wonder, in terms of tonight as well, you mentioned he's got quite a good record against Jurgen's teams. What he has done against some of Jurgen's teams is he's managed to stop them scoring as free. I think it's 7 goals in the 10 games of late. That's something, because Liverpool are free scoring under Jurgen. He's found ways at times to just stifle that. And again, you might try and do that tonight and be stuffy, as you say.
Well, that's where you've got to be tactically astute. Listen, I think some managers, and we've used the word before, some managers who do have egos look at their team and say, right, we're playing this way and I don't care how the other team wants to play, and if we play our best, we're going to win the game. I don't think he's like that. I think Ancelotti looks at it and goes, do you know what, it's probably not the way we're accustomed to playing or that we'd like to, but what we're going to do, we're going to soak up the pressure here for 70 minutes. He could spoil the game if he wanted to. He could sit really, really deep, compact, and he could make it very awkward for Liverpool, but then he can open up maybe with 20 minutes to go if they're still in it. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, fascinating tactical battle ahead of us. Okay, we're heading to another break, and more from Jason and Alden down pitch side on the way. Plus we'll bring you a taste of the incredible scenes from the Reds takeover of Paris. We're back soon.
Free kick which Andrea Pirlo will take, and it's volleyed, and it's in! A goal in 50 seconds from Milan. Oh, would you believe it? Paolo Maldini, the skipper, has scored it. Here's Kaka. Lifted into Shevchenko, he's onside this time, he's got Crespo in support. Here's Hernan Crespo, 2-0. Hernan Crespo. Look at that from Kaka, and what a pass too for Crespo, and what a goal that is. What a goal that is. Hernan Crespo again, from the sublime pass by Kaka. And Milan now playing football out of this world. Charged down by Cafu. In towards Gerrard! Hello! Here we go! Steven Gerrard puts a grain of doubt in the back of Milan minds and gives hope to all the many thousands of Liverpool fans. Hit by Smica. It's in! It's in! Vladimir Smica! 2 goals in 2 minutes for Liverpool. Carragher into Barros. He's laid it off. It's Gerrard. He was held. He's given the penalty. He's given the penalty. Step up, Xabi Alonso with a chance to equalise. Yes, equalise for Liverpool. Oh, saved by Dina, Xabi Alonso! And Mission Impossible is accomplished. Liverpool were 3-0 down 5 minutes ago. And now, look at that scoreline. Serginho with a great cross, Thomason! Oh, what a save! What a save from Shevchenko by Jerzy Dudek. Andrei Shevchenko must score. He must score. There will be no second chances if Shevchenko misses. He saved it! The European Cup is returning to England and to Anfield. Liverpool are champions of Europe again. Liverpool have their hands on the European Cup again, and this time it's for keeps. That trophy isn't going anywhere but Anfield.
It's just a tough group, come on, we don't have to lie. AC Milan, big history. Porto, top team. Atletico, wow, that's proper Champions League. It's exactly how you won football. This group will be exciting from the first second to the last second. We won all the games, which is absolutely incredible, and it's just another chapter in the history of this wonderful group of players. The world will be red or white on this match day. It's really special.
It has been quite the European adventure this year, and tonight is going to be something really special. Liverpool and Real Madrid going head-to-head, the winner to be crowned Kings of Europe once again. Welcome back to Matchday Live. Of course, we got a taste of it in Kiev thanks to Shevchenko Park. And over in Madrid, we saw the power of the Reds in full effect. And now we're here in Paris. And once again, the Liverpool support has certainly delivered just incredible scenes. The numbers that turn out, the enthusiasm in which they do turn out, it's just amazing. Every single time we turn out for one of these occasions.
Well, they're breaking records for fun, isn't it? And the big debate is this the greatest Liverpool team we've ever seen? They've certainly put themselves in there. I think it's a generational thing when you look at who you feel is the best, but I certainly think, you know, from a fan's point of view, we are witnessing greatness, aren't we? And we're being spoiled, and so in some ways we take it for granted. I said to my wife, listen, we've got to take my son Logan to the cup final because we might never get to another one. I'm sure we will, not to be taken for granted, by the way. But, you know, it's just absolutely phenomenal. But we come in our thousands, don't we? We celebrate, we enjoy. You know, we're writing our own history. We listen to the generations that have gone before us, having such great stories about 77, 78, 81, you know, amazing stories about how they got there, what they did when they were there, bringing the fashion back to Liverpool. We were the heads of fashion at one point because we were bringing all the...
Some would say you still are.
Thanks, mate, thanks. But the fans are amazing.
the scenes here, we've seen it grow and grow. We saw the numbers that turned out in Shevchenko Park in Ukraine. It was amazing. Then people see that and they want to be part of it the next time. So in Madrid, even more come. They want to see them and say, I was there. And you see now, it's actually probably more people now in Paris. It's growing yet again.
Well, Paris as a location is obviously easier to get to than the other two venues, isn't it? I mean, you know, how people have got here is, you know, is remarkable. They found all different ways. People took a gamble, obviously, from the semi-final and got in maybe cheaper. Yeah, obviously, listen, tickets are a problem. They're a problem, and it needs to be addressed. You know, UEFA need to look at the situation. When someone like Liverpool reaches a final, it needs to be accommodated in a different way. I understand the world we're living in, but they need to do something about it. It is unfair, I feel, and maybe something that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, possibly. In terms of the numbers, though, again, people will come. They'll come without a ticket. They'll come to enjoy the experience, to soak it up, to watch it in a bar in town, maybe watch it in the fan zone as well. There's just this desire to experience it, isn't it? It's just become something more than just the 90 minutes of football. It's something to experience.
Well, that's what the Champions League brings, doesn't it? It's like the hottest ticket in town, if you can get one. But the second best is obviously being around the venue, you know, in the bars that are put on, and the fan parks and the fan zones. I mean, we put our own fan zone on today, our own fan park. It was absolutely amazing. And we were talking to Jamie Webster on the breakfast show. He couldn't wait to get there and sing. I mean, what an atmosphere. We're witnessing it here. You know, they're all well behaved, and it was absolutely brilliant. Parade again, we've got that coming up tomorrow, haven't we? And I'm sure numbers will turn out. We looked at 1 million, didn't we, last time around? Possibly we might get the same if we win tonight. So yeah, all in all, the fans are what make this football club so special.
Such special pictures we see year on year when we go on these adventures. Just it takes a moment to take in the scale of it. When you see the numbers, it stretches back. Just red after red after red. It kind of, even though we do these things, we do these games so often, very fortunate, but every time we do see it up close, think, wow, it kind of takes your breath away a little bit, doesn't it?
It's just remarkable. I mean, it was a bit different for us in Madrid than what it is here. You know, in Madrid, they did it a different way outside the ground, didn't we? And we didn't really witness the fans sort of getting into the ground where we were from. Tonight, we're witnessing it. It is building. You know, fans, there is a slight frustration because, you know, they're not getting in quick enough. I don't know what's going to happen, but it is building. There's lots of numbers here, and, you know, hopefully everyone gets in before kickoff.
Yeah, big atmosphere outside, big occasion here. What are the nerves like? You know, we kind of switch it off a little bit because we're working. What are the nerves like? Are the feelings of the supporters going in now? Is it just that excitement, or are they starting to think about the game and think football now, having been in the parks all day?
Well, obviously they've got into the ground, haven't they? Some lucky fans at the moment have got into the ground, so they're witnessing the warm-ups. You know, they're going through their own pre-match routine, aren't they? You know, and some are obviously bringing their children for the first time to witness it. Some are going with friends. I mean, my experience of winning in Madrid with you and Peter McDowell and watching the goals go in, it was just sheer emotion. You know, Dicko, our floor manager that night, was in tears. He had me in tears. It was just an absolutely remarkable occurrence, and it's great when you're with the people. You know, not only do we work together, but we're friends as well. So to go through it with friends and colleagues, and children, it's just remarkable. It was great for my little lad to, you know, he had a sample of it down at Wembley, and he's still talking about it now, you know. And it's just to wear it, you know, see the smile on his face and hear his story and what it meant to him. It's just, as a parent, it's just great. But, you know, I'm sure there'll be a few tears on your shoulder tonight again if we win, like it was in Madrid.
And I reciprocate on yours, don't you worry. Okay, let's head back inside one more time then before Aldo has to make his way up to join Steve Hunter for commentary duty. With the noise levels beginning to crank up, it is very much over to you, Pete.
Thank you, Mark. We have a European Cup winner, not once but twice, in 81 and 1984, in Ian Rush, who's here tonight. First question I asked to Aldo at the start of the programme was, how are your nerves? How are your nerves for this Liverpool team?
It's very nervous when you're playing two top teams, aren't they? Real Madrid. How they got to the finals, incredible. So I'm quite confident, but at the end of the day, it's you never know with Real Madrid.
What do Liverpool have to do well to win tonight, do you think?
They have to stop getting the ball to Benzema. Benzema is the main threat. I think if we can stop the ball in midfield, getting to Benzema, I think we've got a chance, because the team we have, when you look at Salah, Mane, Diaz, I think we're going to score goals.
How pleased are you that the midfield is as fit as they appear to be for this one tonight?
Well, when you look at it, I think you most probably got the strongest 11 we can put up. Yeah. That's what I think. So, at the end of the day, for me, even if we don't win tonight, I think we've had a fantastic season. Well, it will be a bit disappointing, but today we can't do much more. We've just got to go up there and win the game.
They know that they're going on a parade Valdo, that let's make sure we've got another one to show them tomorrow in Liverpool?
Yeah, I think so. Do you remember that time? Everyone enjoyed it so much. It was absolutely unbelievable scenes, you know. But it's just that one last nail to get over. Go out there and give it what you can. Leave nothing untoward out there, and look. Chances come, take your chances. Just take your chances.
Just finally, before we hand back, Rushy, how were you at this moment where you could finally get out onto the pitch? It's probably seemed like an eternal wait for the final.
Yeah, you just want to get out there and play the game. That's what about. It's a build-up towards it. That's most probably nerve-wracking. And when you come a supporter, like fans like we are, it's even worse. When you're playing, it's not too bad, is it?
You can do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. But when you get out there, once the game starts, I think once you blow the whistle for that, just concentrate. Forget about what's around you. Just concentrate what's on the pitch.
Well, he's got some official duties to do where the European Cup is concerned for the official handover, so we'll let you go, Ian, and we'll hand back to you guys.
Kick-off is fast approaching here in Paris, where Liverpool need some big performances if they're overcome Real Madrid. Alisson Becker could have a part to play if we want to get European Cup number 7.
Damir Scamina will get us underway. The UEFA Champions League final of 2019 is underway. And it's all about really getting a touch, trying to settle down, and really seeing how that 3-week break has affected the two sets of players. That's an early ball for Sadio Mane. The ball just wouldn't quite fall for him. There's appeal for a penalty. It is a penalty. Within 25 seconds of the start of the game, Liverpool have been given a penalty kick. Unreal.
Well, it's blatant handball, isn't it? It comes off his chest and then onto his hand.
Mohamed Salah wants a goal in the biggest game of his life. Pressure moment. Brilliant response. Liverpool lead early in the Champions League final. And Mohamed Salah simply was not to be denied.
Mo Salah decided to go for power. Straight down the middle. Lloris dives.
Did well to help it onto Andrew Robertson. It looked a really dangerous ball, but it's actually turned into a brilliant ball. And Liverpool are flooding forward. And it's Andrew Robertson! Some hit, some hit. Can they withstand it? Saved brilliantly by Alisson. Son caught that fantastically. Oh, it's fallen for Lucas Moura! Tottenham's best chance. And the Brazilian denied by the Brazilian. It was late drama at Manchester City that got them through. Is it going to be late drama in the final? It's Eriksen. It's a brilliant save. Watched all the way by Alisson and got two really good gloves on it. Milner will take Liverpool's corner. Milner takes Van Dijk with a swing. Important little touch by Eric Dyer. Oh, it comes to Divock Origi! He's won the European Cup for Liverpool! The man who took down Barcelona has taken Tottenham down in Madrid, and it's dreamland for Liverpool Football Club with just minutes to go. Liverpool get themselves a second, and surely now number 6 is on its way to Anfield.
Well, it's a brilliant finish from Origi. He gets it out of his feet and hits it back across Lloris on his left foot.
He's been Tottenham's player all night. Oh, what a save that is. That's a really good hand from Alisson. Son's been the big Tottenham threat all night. Liverpool are the champions of Europe for the 6th time. Drink it in, feel it. It is an astonishing achievement. It doesn't get any better than this. Moments
that will live with the players and for every Liverpool fan forever.
Countdown to the Champions League final is very much on. It is less than 30 minutes until the players will be making their way out onto the pitch here at the Stade de France. The atmosphere is building. You can feel the energy in the air around us.
Once we got over the disappointment of Sunday and you know, it kind of sunk in, then you know, you pick yourself up on Monday and you look at it and you go, we're playing for the biggest trophy of all. We've got a huge game Saturday against, you know, the most decorated club in this competition, and we know the task that's, you know, on hand.
Play one of the best teams in Champions League history, and we'll have to be very good to hopefully lift that trophy.
When you play against Real Madrid, they are full of quality and in every single position. They always have been for 50, 60 years probably now, and you don't win this competition 13 times by coincidence, and obviously they'll be looking to make it 14, and it's up to us to stop that.
We know how good they are, how strong they are, experienced players with a lot of quality at front and at back. But we know our qualities as well. We are just focused on performing as we are performing during this whole season.
And if we do that, then you know, hopefully we're the ones celebrating this time, because we want to make it number 7 for this great club. So we need to give our all.
Here I have teammates that fight for the same goal. If we have the opportunity to do that again, we're gonna do. And you never know if it's the last one that you have in your hands, but can be. So we'll give our lives in that game to win it. Being in a Champions League final at the big stage, playing a really good game and winning that is something that will be always in my mind.
When I see old pictures, or a picture pops up on my phone or whatever of us in Madrid, or the parade after it or whatever, then it's always something that I look back on with a big smile. You know, that weekend was right up there, and you know, the best of my life, and that will always be the case.
I think it's a dream come true for every footballer, I think, to be able to play the Champions League final, but to actually win it, and also win it after the year you lost it, was special.
When you win something, when you live a special moment, you want to do that again. You want to live that moment again, and now we have another opportunity against a big club, against a tough opponent, at a special place. So it's a huge opportunity for me and for my teammates to make history again.
You want that feeling again, and the only way by doing that is by putting in a good performance. And if we do that, then you know, hopefully we have an even bigger smile on our face come Saturday night.
This year could feel maybe a little bit more special because it's only my comeback season. That's how I feel it. It's been an incredible year, tough year, and something, we'll see what happens. We enjoy it, and yeah, see what it brings.
It has been a special season so far. No matter what happens tonight, let us not lose sight of that. That said, winning number 7 will be nothing short of magnificent. That's it from myself and Jason in our studio position for now. We're going to hand you to your commentary team for tonight's game a little bit early to sample the atmosphere inside the stadium. I'll pass the baton now to Steve Hunter and John Aldridge.
Thank you so much, Mark. Good evening, everybody. An absolute pleasure and a privilege to be here at the Stade de France. 6-time European Cup winners Liverpool playing their 10th European Cup final. And the Reds this time take on Real Madrid in Paris. It is, of course, a repeat of the 1981 final in Paris when Barney Rubble became the unlikely man again, didn't he? As he got us that winning goal in Paris against Real Madrid. Well, who's going to be Liverpool's hero tonight? And of course, folks, don't forget, there's a small matter of a treble up for grabs, isn't there? Hey, good times, isn't it? Good times. Right then, let's have a quick check on tonight's two lineups then. For Liverpool, well, Jurgen's made 3 changes from that game against Wolves at Anfield. Virgil van Dijk, Thiago and Fabinho all start. Ibrahima Konate back at his native Paris in France, of course, preferred to Joel Matip alongside Virgil van Dijk. So we go with Alisson Becker in goal, Andy Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, Trent Alexander-Arnold the back line, the lighthouse as they call him, Fabinho pass fit to start in that holding role, so crucial for us with Thiago and the captain Jordan Henderson, and the front three, Luis Diaz, Sadio Mane down the middle, and Mohamed Salah, perhaps with some unfinished business. Bench, of course, to Liverpool tonight, Quiveen Kelleher, the goalkeeper, 12 subs, you can use 5 of them in the Champions League. It could be crucial, that, you never know tonight. James Milner, Diogo Jota, Naby Keita, Bobby Firmino, Joe Gomez, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, Takumi Minamino, Joel Matip, the FA Cup hero Kostas Tsimikas, and Harvey Elliott. As for Real Madrid, well, Carlo Ancelotti makes one change from that dramatic win over Manchester City in the semi-final. No surprise, it's at the back. David Alaba, the Austrian, as expected, comes back into their side. So they go with the Belgian number 1, Thibaut Courtois in goal. A back line of Ferland Mendy, David Alaba, Eder Militao and Dani Carvajal. Then the German Toni Kroos alongside the Brazilian Casemiro in the middle. On the flanks, the Brazilian Vinicius Junior down the left-hand side. The Uruguayan Federico Valverde down the right. And the evergreen Luka Modric, of course, now 36, playing off the goal machine. Got to watch him, Karim Benzema. We know how much he likes the Champions League. Bench is the Ukrainian goalkeeper Andrei Lunin, Nacho, Eden Hazard, the former Chelsea man, of course, Marco Asensio, Marcelo, Lucas Vazquez, Gareth Bale back in the equation, the Wales international, Dani Ceballos, who had a loan spell at Arsenal, Rodrigo, Isco, Mariano and Eduardo Camavinga. Referee comes from France, Clément Turpin, or Turpin, I guess is what they say in French. Aldo was calling him Dick Turpin in Kiev. He was the 4th official that night. But great to have this fella back with us, isn't it, tonight? The legend with us alongside us for this big one here in Paris tonight. Aldo, John Aldridge is here.
Hello, good evening everyone. Just a little bit nervous, and which is, I think, to be appreciated because of the scale of this game. You know, I've been lucky enough to see all our finals, some way of form, and this one's up there with every one of them. It goes without saying, this team deserves whatever they can achieve this year. They've been unbelievable. You know, this would put, you know, the icing on the cake for me. If we could just do this, I'd be thoroughly what they deserve. You've got to meditate at the end of the day. Look, hopefully we can do that.
Absolutely, you know, it's been a carnival atmosphere in the town area as well. They had the boss night, we're on John Power of Cast, the Lightning Seeds, Ian Brody, of course, matched by Jamie Webster, tearing the roof off the place really in Paris, and incredible scenes, isn't it? Just so good.
Well, it's only Liverpool that can do that. You know, I don't know the team on the planet does it, and it's spectacular, as you say, Steve. And hey, Liverpool's been a music city since the 60s and the 50s, and it's kept on going. And to have some of the lineups, the bands were amazing, and ridiculous the amount of people that turned up. It looked absolutely magnificent.
It's so incredible, isn't it? It's has to be seen to be believed. But that's what this football club is all about: bringing emotions, everyone together, everyone pulling together as one. And it's crazy, isn't it? Meeting Ancelotti again. Memories of Istanbul. You'll never forget that night. I won't either. But
I couldn't go through that again.
We couldn't talk in that again. We couldn't talk that night, I tell you. It was a lovely sight yesterday, though, at Liverpool Airport when the team set off and departed, you know, from Liverpool John Lennon Airport on Friday, folks. The airport's fire service created a water arch as a symbol of good luck for the team when the plane went through it. Watched that this morning. It was absolutely incredible. It was creating a bit of a symbol at Liverpool Airport. They did with the arch, little water arch with the
fantastic.
Going out.
Absolutely
Lovely,
fantastic. Yeah, brilliant.
As far as the team news is concerned, although you're maybe not that surprised Konate starts instead of Matip.
Well, I think for me he was always going to start him because he's always loyal to his players, and you have to see Konate's played every game in this competition. You know, as he played Joel in all the league games more or less, unless he needed to change it around, like last week against Wolves. So I always thought you were going to stick with him. You know, he's not let us down. You know, let's hope he doesn't tonight neither. You know, because he's got a massive important job to do down our right-hand side. You know, we know the pace that they've got in that area with Vinicius. So he's got a lot of work to do and to keep focused so that any balls over the top and we're caught out, he's got to get there before him.
Only the substitutes are warming up now. Jurgen's raced down the tunnel with the starting 11. Thiago's with them. He raced down the tunnel, which is a good sign. He seemed to be doing his own warm-up in a way, didn't he, with Conal Mataig, one of our fitness gurus?
Yeah, it's strange. I've never seen that before in a warm-up. There's obviously still some concern about his injury, but the manager's given him an opportunity to improve his fitness, and if he gets an hour out of him, he'd be happy with that. Let's hope that hour that he's involved also he does the damage which we can do.
You know what? It was a lovely picture. I was here yesterday. We got here yesterday, and in the stadium watching the training session from up here in the gantry, and Thiago was out there. He looked good actually, and he went around specifically going to all the fitness guys, Andreas Kornmeier, shaking their hand and giving them a big hug. I thought that was quite poignant, that really. I thought, yeah, and when he posted on his social media today his new boots for the final, I thought, you're ready, you're playing.
Such is football in these heady days.
What about a word on the captain again? You know, Jordan Henderson, he's already lifted it once. He could emulate. You're one of your heroes, one of our heroes, the crazy horse, Emlyn Hughes, who's the only Liverpool captain to have lifted old Big Ears twice.
Yeah, and what a captain he was, what a player he was. Again, Jordan, he merits and deserves anything. What every cup he lifts up, he's got better, by the years as a Liverpool player. He's been magnificent, and he's been a great captain and inspiration on the pitch as well.
And the first playing of the anthem, Jerry's anthem, as we look to our right-hand side. The travelling cop is a sea of red, the Madrid end away to our left-hand side. The Liverpool fans have been in terrific voice all day, I tell you. We spoke about that boss night. It was magnificent. It really was magnificent. You had
I just hope they haven't left the voice there.
I know, yeah.
God, he sung along so much. They've got something left for the next couple of hours because we need them.
Yeah. I mean, when John Power was on singing The Fields of Anfield Road, I mean, Sir Kenny turned up on stage with him, and then the roof nearly went off the place. It's brilliant. It really is, and you get so emotional about these things.